just introduce yourself and Aaron.
My name is Cindy DeVilliers, and this is Aaron Michael DeVilliers. He will be 5 next week. And when Aaron was about 6 months old, he began throwing up mucus as well as anything he would intake, food, any dairy products. The doctor did not know what to do, so he told me to wait till he was 2 to take him to an allergist. We saw an allergist who put him on shots for almost a year, 2 shots a week. And he got better for about 6 months, but then never really conquered what was going on. He ended up getting worse again. And we went to a different allergist who tested him again and said that he had no allergies. So not knowing what to do, at this time Aaron was throwing up about 40 times a day. And it was all mucus. He would not keep anything down, no matter what. He lived on Kool-Aid. So we basically, we took him to Texas Children's Hospital, and after 5 days of intensive treatment, 7 specialists, and thousands and thousands of dollars later, we ended up with just basically, they didn't know. They thought he just had an increased production of mucus, and they wanted to do surgery. So after waiting for 8 medications to work and hoping that they would take effect, they did not, and it just got worse and worse. And my brother sent me to Dr. Bob, who within 3 weeks, now Aaron's not throwing up at all, and he's growing and he's thriving and he's very happy. So we are very happy, and we want to thank you for all you've done for us. My child under, not at this age and this weight, that's not possible. I'm not risking that. And he said, okay, we'll send you home. 8 medications. We went home, breathing treatments 3 and 4 times a day, liquids, inhalers, you name it, he was on it. Still not sleeping through the night, waking up 2 or 3 times a night to throw up. And then I went to see my brother one weekend. My brother's a doctor also, and he went to school with Bob. And he looked at Aaron and he said, Cindy, please take him to Bob. And, and actually what really baffled me was Catherine sat in my room, and no one was allowed in our room except for her. She was head of pediatrics at Texas Children's, and she sat down one day and she said, Mrs. DeVilliers, I just have to tell you, I've never, in all my years of practice, I have never seen a child this sick that I could not diagnose. We do not know what is wrong with your child. We knew for sure. We showed you the pictures of his lungs that he had cystic fibrosis. They told me he would die by the age of 8. He would not live. So in all of this event, I mean, it's almost too much to tell. But they did say he will not live past the age of 8. We're confirming cystic fibrosis. We're going to be running genetic testing. Who in your family has had it? No one. This is crazy. They ran all the testing. They did the sweat test on him. Came back negative. We don't understand. She said, I've never seen a child this sick. I could not diagnose. We have no idea what's wrong with your son. We're going to give you medications, and we just hope and pray he gets better because we don't know what to do with him. And that really hit me when Texas Children's Hospital turns your child away and says, we're baffled. We don't know what to do with your child. And then when we came to see Bob, back, it was just, they looked at me and said, your child has cystic fibrosis, and I said, okay. And my sister-in-law was with me, and she said, I just rode with you in a car for 2 hours to bring him here. He threw up 16 times in the car. And she said, none of us realized how sick he was. We really thought you were over-exaggerating. I said, it didn't matter what you thought. He was that sick. And she said, do you realize what they just told you? That he's going to die. And I looked at her and I said, when you live with a child that sick, who every 5-10 minutes, every hour, every 30 minutes is vomiting mucus and cannot breathe, at least you have an answer. It may not be the answer you want, but I guess that's what's wrong with him. So I was ready to accept that. I had already dreamed of giving his eulogy. It was just that horrifying all the time. So my brother said, you know what, if anybody can help Aaron, Bob can help Aaron. And I said, Marvin, we've been everywhere. He said, I'm telling you, Cindy, get him to Bob. And we've been immediately. And I remember you telling me, and it's really ironic because I sat there and I did a little video. Now I remember, and I thought, okay, it's another doctor, whatever. It's not, nobody can help my child. And he said, I want you to start him on this organic iodine, which we just got another bottle from the clinic for Anna. And I thought, okay, we'll try it. And we started this regimen of no processed meats, no sugars, this whole book to go through what he could eat and couldn't eat. And he said, you're going to notice, and it just baffled me. He said, you're going to notice he's going to start blowing black out of his nose. And I thought, what? He said his sinus cavities are so packed, he's producing twice as much mucus as a normal person, and he's gonna begin to blow back out of his nose. And sure enough, within 2 days, the next day, he would do 2 boxes of Kleenexes, and he would blow, and it would just be filled with black. But he was sleeping, and he never threw up again. Never again from that moment. It ended. And it was just like, oh my God.